Mike, in getting back to Spidertrap as a company, how would you like to mold your company? What direction do you see them going in the future?
So there's a couple of areas, I keep saying that, a couple of areas, I guess that's a good way of quantifying and walking through my list in my head, but there's a couple of things that we're really focusing on. One is, I hope to build out a product division at some point. For us as a company, we've gone from online to mobile. I think the next evolution is really to build out kind of that product division so that we can go back to clients and either add an additional service or to be able to sell a specific product. When you think about our world, right now what we're doing is basically selling a bucket of hours to achieve a specific result. What I'd like to do is kind of the flip side of that and really start to develop sound solutions based off of a need from a customer or the marketplace or even an industry.
Are there any particular areas of marketing right now that you think marketing companies in general have only scratched the surface as far as developing?
I still think mobile and tablets. I think that's a bigger buzzword now than things like gamification, for example. I mean, seriously, I think gaming is going to be huge. And when I was at CES in Vegas earlier this year, and one thing that I noticed is that really TV is the last medium that we use every single day that hasn't been fully built out with apps. You're starting to see it more and more, and I saw that this year in Vegas, but I think the interactive side of TV is only going to go from what we see today as a very passive medium, if you will, to more of a tablet type format or a computer type format where it's more around engagement.
So we'll go beyond just fan of the day of a particular program? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly right. Yeah,
okay, that'd be good.
Yep.
Overall, since you're in this market, what's your personal view of how marketing and advertising companies are doing in Minnesota right now?
Yeah, it's a fun place to be. Minnesota and Minneapolis is. I think when you look at technology, for example, and that's another place where we're going as a company, is being seen as more of a marketing technology firm versus an agency, if you will. For us, we talk to people and they say California is huge in this space, for example, around technology. New York is really big when it comes to the ad industry, for example. What's great about the Midwest and Minneapolis and a lot of the agencies here is it's kind of the best of both worlds. And in my opinion, that's a big piece of what we provide at Spidertrap, is really, as I mentioned in the beginning, understanding the creative side, but also understanding the technology side as well. So.
All right. Question that we got off of Facebook. Aaron Harold wanted me to ask you, what inspires your boundless imagination and energy when it comes to your work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest driver for me is trying to produce good results for clients. And at the end of the day, I just enjoy doing fun, cool stuff. Probably the most fulfilling part about my job is the people and the clients that I get to work with, but also building a really cool team that every single day continues to impress me with the amount of work and the quality of work that we continue to put out. It's just fantastic. So, I'm not driven by money, I'm not driven by status or things like that. What really drives me is what we're building within the walls of Spidertrap and what we're producing for clients outside of Spidertrap at the same time.
So Mike, with all the work that you do quite a bit of traveling and entertaining as well. What kinds of things do you enjoy doing to relax in your off time?
Well, you already mentioned my mayorship at the gym, which I don't even have anymore, by the way. I don't have that one either because I've been traveling, but I love trying to stay fit, and exercising I think is a big piece of what I'm doing, just to balance out all those things that you're saying. But I also love golfing. I'm trying to learn and find some time to become a pilot as well, which is kind of cool. I'm like absolutely fascinated by flying. And at the end of the day, I also really enjoy, like I said, getting up north to either my cabin or family's cabin or a friend's cabin as well.
Do you think, Mike, that speaking of going up north, do you think some of the rural areas or smaller towns are adapting as much as they could be to pulling in new visitors and stuff with technology?
No, they're not. As part of my travels, I also go and speak at a lot of college campuses, and I think what you're getting at is it really starts there. I mean, that should be the hotbed of technology. Is different, whether it's St. Cloud, even you look at Duluth, for example, is there recently. I really think technology starts with a lot of those students, because those students are the people that eventually work either on the agencies up there or the client side. And so I really think that the rural areas, unfortunately, because of their location, are challenged in some ways. But at the same time, when I do travel up there, we do see a lot of really great tech companies that are simply located in areas like St. Cloud and Duluth and so on. So it's, I think there's a select pocket of people that are really into the technology space in rural areas, but I also think it's less prevalent when it comes to direct-to-consumer type behaviors.
Another question for you, Mike, since you mentioned you speak at school sometimes. When I had started doing Twitter views a while ago, and I think even the early ones, you were one of the first ones.
Yeah.
A question I would ask is, in the colleges, are they teaching social media? Has that changed now 2 years later? Are they teaching some of that in the curriculum?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better now. I think, today, for example, we had a group of U of M students in, and I think they were very up to speed. They knew what Foursquare was, which I think still a lot of people don't fully understand and utilize, but I think it's getting a lot better. And I think, not to get into politics, but I really think the technology space is for not only colleges and states, but the complete United States is going to be a massive industry that we need to really focus on. And a lot of times when you hear political campaigns and different groups talking, sometimes technology, especially the technology that we're talking about today, is sometimes overlooked.